The out-of-control migrant crisis at our border and in many Democrat-run cities across the country is leading to some bad blood between Democrat leaders. President Biden and New York City Mayor Eric Adams now have reportedly not spoken in almost a year as the Big Apple here gets flooded by illegal immigrants. Now, Adams recently had to announce some major budget cuts to education and police and other parts of the city budget in order to pay for illegal migrants. Now, he's repeatedly blasted Joe Biden for not doing enough to help the city address the influx.
The national government must do their share. This is a national problem. It's not a New York City problem, Chicago problem, Massachusetts problem. The national government should be picking up this tab, and it should not be coming out of the backs of everyday New Yorkers.
This is so obviously a dereliction of duty by the president, the vice president, the entire Biden administration. Jimmy, you're a true blue New Yorker here. As I was looking at these comments and the mayor's statements, what's the word on the street? How do people feel here knowing that these things are essential services are being cut?
They are. I consider this clown on clown crime. And I'll explain. Okay, clown one, obviously, Biden. He turned the southern border into what? The college bar that doesn't check ID. Once the word gets out that anyone can get in, everybody comes. And what's happening, unlike the college bar, is the people coming aren't paying for their alcohol. The bill is getting passed on to people like clown number 2, Eric Adams, who declared himself a sanctuary city back when doing so meant nothing, okay? Being a sanctuary city under Trump was good branding because no human beings were legal, but no human beings were coming, so you never had to actually step up and own your behavior. Now they're actually coming because of Biden. So I consider it clown on clown because Adams was posturing to begin with, and Biden has just, abandoned any pretense of caring about our country first.
That's absolutely true. And Nicole, to that point about, we heard a lot of people, especially in the last election, talking about, there is no illegal human and we should have essentially open borders and everyone is welcome in the United States of America. But now we're seeing different people kind of change their tune when they're feeling the impacts on their communities.
Well, that's right. And elections and words, they have consequences. And now we're finally starting to see the consequences of some of those policies. Mayor Adams has found himself stuck in this dichotomy that really he has created. Over 140,000 migrants have come to the city since last year. And all of a sudden, the city's resources are depleted. And so he's starting to scramble. But while he's doing a little bit, he's still not doing enough. So he is starting to push back on the right to shelter law. That's been in place since 1989, where if you're homeless, this city has to provide you housing if you ask for it. And now they're finding not just, American homeless, but also these migrants coming in, they have a right to shelter as well. So Mayor Adams is actually trying to push back on that a little bit. That hasn't gone through. But yet at the same time, earlier this year, there's a homeless Bill of Rights that was actually passed. And the mayor didn't veto it. He just said, he signed it and said, okay. And that Bill of Rights essentially makes it legal to just sleep on the street, which is why you can continue to see migrants and more homeless on the street. And he keeps the sanctuary city status. So until you make it illegal to be illegal, we're going to have ourselves in this situation. And it's not just innocent migrants that are coming in. We already know there are people on the terror watch list. There are so many gotaways. This is extremely dangerous to our local communities and our country as a whole.
And those threats, Joey, to our security, essentially, when we don't have borders, we don't have a country. We certainly don't have a secure country. And we're learning more and more about how these are not all just people fleeing their home countries for a better life.
No, yeah, I know this issue pretty well from one perspective. I grew up in a town that is now 78 to 90% Hispanic, depending on if it's city limits or where you are, what school you're looking at. Mostly Mexican migrants, now mostly second and third generation Americans of descendants of Mexicans who came here illegally to work because it's a big textile industry. So I grew up, these are best friends, people I went to school with for 13 years, people I know really well, and are proud Americans. That's the difference in what's happening today and what happened in towns like mine for 20 years. But here's the deal. It's not mostly Mexican migrants coming. It's migrants coming from all over countries that aren't just South and Central America. People coming from China, people come from Iran, from Afghanistan, from Saudi Arabia, from different places are being caught at the border. We don't know why they're there. And here's the deal. We have a stat that shows that a lot more people on the terror watch list are coming from the northern border than the southern border. But I think what that doesn't take into account is the amount of traffic coming through the southern border that no one knows about.
Exactly.
We use this term gotaways. How do we know?
Right.
How do we know?
Right. And Katie, as we see the impact on these social services in cities across the country, as we see the impacts on where our taxpayer dollars are going, we're seeing the reality of the national security threat that we're facing, and yet there is no message coming from the administration saying, if you come here, you will be sent away. There is no real use of the E-Verify program to limit those coming here seeking employment. How do you think this impacts us as a country as we head in this next election?
Well, and there's no movement from President Joe Biden to actually use his executive authority, as President Trump did, to stop this problem, because they are so afraid, because of their political base, of going back to those policies that worked because it simply had the word Trump in it. It's been detrimental to the country. Eric Adams is, he was talking about New Yorkers having to pay the bill for this, and he said that he wants the federal government to take on the bill. I'm from Arizona. All these people in New York City and Washington, D.C. and Philadelphia were fine when this problem was only in border states and in small towns, when the burden of resource management was put on taxpayers there. But when it comes to their city, after they decided they were going to be a sanctuary city and virtue signal, and reality has hit them in the face, and now they're dealing with the fact they have to cut social services and they can't just raise taxes into oblivion to pay for all of this, they now want all taxpayers to pick up the bill. Notice he doesn't say stop it at the border. He's also blamed Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas, for this problem. He has not held Joe Biden accountable for any of this. They haven't had a serious conversation, as we now know. They aren't talking about actually issuing some kind of deterrence when it comes to this problem. And no one wants to admit that it is a resource management issue. If you have too many people in a place, not everybody can have what's available. And I've been talking to a couple of Republicans who actually are in the Republican GOP in Manhattan, and they're actually pretty confident that they can flip some seats, or at least get close, as a result of this issue alone. So people vote for this, and they have a choice, and policies change based on people who are in charge and they're elected. So we'll have to watch that.
According to Copermex, Mexico has more than 1 million job openings nationwide. It seems like that Remain in Mexico law may have been good for people seeking jobs.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.